All right, we've done the driver review, we've done the iron review, and let's finish things up with a hybrid review. We're going to talk about the Callaway bb21 hybrid. Welcome back to the McGolf Shop. Jim McCleary, Most Awarded Certified Club Maker, Club Fitter. We're in the McFitting room. And if you would, like, subscribe, and that way you get more of the videos when they drop. If you would, follow me on the social media platforms. They're going this way. For Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, McGolf Custom Clubs, I am McGolf. All right, now we got all that out of the way. All right, the Big Bertha B21. All right, this is a golf club, again, that has draw bias. That has been the theme throughout the entire part of the bb21 line, right? The idea that if you hit it straighter, it goes further. And that's true, right? When the ball does like that, it tends to go further. When the ball does like that, it tends to go a little bit less far. And that's what it's for, right? And they attribute that to a lot of draw bias, either with weight moving, face angles, that type of stuff. And trying to lower the spin, right? The driver was trying to be a low spin number. I didn't quite see all that, but a lot of other folks did. The irons were very, very good. They hit a very, very long way. They got out there. I was very happy with those. And just like everything else, we've got to go and make sure that it's to spec. So let's go do that. The properties that we're finding, we do length, loft, lie, flex, total weight, and anything else we think's neat. So in this particular instance, as you're seeing it happen, is that we found the length to be 39 3/4. Then we also found the loft to be true to life, 21. We found the lie angle to be at 60. We found the swing weight to be at D0. And we found the total weight to be right in line with what a 65-gram shaft would have on it. So all things in all impressive, it was pretty good. Now, the other thing that I thought was really kind of fantastic for this is every time I have measured flex for a hybrid, it has always come out light. It always comes out lower than what the expectation is. This guy was right smack dab in the middle. So as we keep talking about RCH being some kind of silly shaft coming from Callaway, they have delivered each and every time on it. So way to go, Callaway. Now, what does Callaway say that it is? Well, they say that the length is supposed to be 40, so we're a 1/4 inch short. It says the loft is supposed to be 21, which we're dead on. It's supposed to be a lie angle of 59, so it supposedly plays a little flatter. I don't know if I dig 59 or not. I think 60 is probably a better number, with a swing weight of D1. Now, I think we would have hit D1 had we had that extra 1/4 of an inch on there. So, and I normally give one swing weight, so everything's good that way. And we already talked about the flex, so that's pretty good there. So all in all, I'm kind of liking this, right? It's turning out to be a really nice head, all right? So what does it look like? Well, it had, hold on a minute, I'll have to do a little bit there. So if we start out, the head comes with, or it sports jailbreak technology, right? All the woods and hybrids are doing that now, and that's for additional ball speed. And it's been working. It's a proven technology. It's a titanium rod that goes from the sole to the crown to keep the face from flexing too much or the give. Then it sports the flash face, and the flash face is basically Callaway's way of saying that the AI did it, or artificial intelligence. And normally they give it 2 jobs, give it a lot of distance and give it a lot of forgiveness off center hits, and make it a fairway finder, that kind of stuff. And as you've seen before, I've always called them, they look like ears on the drivers. Now in the hybrids and whatnot, not so much. Sports a little bit of cup face technology in order to make all that happen. And then has the Kevlar or woven crown into a really nice dark blue. I really like the color of this club. It just looks rich, right? It looks like it's a high quality piece, and I think that it is. All right, then as you see, then and it also sports a face that at address would give you this feeling that it's offset because the hosel turns into the face, but then the face is kind of pro-set. So, but what it is, it's closed, right? It's got a closed face. It sits behind the ball at address very, very well. I like the way that it looks, and it's finished off with a Tour Velvet Align, and that's really what we like about this club. So, and it comes in multiple lofts, right? This is the 4, the 3 will be around 18. You'll see a 23 or 24, and quite possibly a 27 if they're going that deep. Now that we know what it looks like, now it's time to hit it. All right, I got warmed up, hit a bunch of golf balls, and some not so great, some really great. So you're going to get ready to see all this. I have Mrs. McGolf helping me out. And if you notice that there's the majority of the black lines are actually to the right of center, being a left-hander, that would be the expectation, okay? Now if we look, yes, a handful of them got to the left-hand side, which means, is it a slice preventer 100% of the time? No, right? There's nothing out there that's a slice preventer 100% of the time. Now the swing guys are going to say, well, you know, only the swing guy can make that go away. Well, to an extent. I mean, there are certain things that, you know, it's a marriage of equipment and swings, right? It's not just one or the other. You can have both, because you can have a really good swing and have very poor equipment and still not get where you want to go. And vice versa, you can have really good equipment and a very poor swing and still get that same kind of result. So let's marry it up. Let's just cut it right to that one. So if we look, majority of them in this particular area right here, and of course the poles. Now the expectation is I would be over here because I am kind of a push kind of hitter, right? In most of my reviews, I'm off to the left over here. So to find a majority of the clubs, or a majority of the balls over on that side, means that it truly is doing its job. You know, every once in a while, yeah, they're going to get out there, but that's just what it does. Now let's see how they grouped out. So now if we look at the grouping, again, you know, what we're seeing at the low end, when I don't get it very good, it's 180, and when I'm really feeling my mustard out here and I'm mad at the world, it's 230. Now, honestly, guys, here's what happened. I'm hitting it, and I'm hitting decent, but I'm not hitting great. And my attitude and temper got the best of me, and I just started coming unglued, and you're going to see some numbers here in a minute. And that's what started this up here. But if you look at what's going on, it's a better show at this particular point than it is in the flight or the shot plot. But you have, of the 17, the lion's share is right here, where there's very few there. So is it doing its job and working? Yeah, right? It's doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's to make you go to the inside. And does it go far? Yeah, it goes pretty far. I mean, you can see how it does. Now, can it go short? Yeah, as long as you hit them bad, they're going to go short as well. However, my gamer is about a 210 club at 21. And I am landing at 200, but the end result numbers, if you look on the averages, which we're going to see here in a minute, is a little bit further. So let's go take a look at the data of all the shots. Okay, if we look up at the table, you know, now this one's going to be kind of tough in that if we look at here, what we're looking at, and we'll go to this side. If we look at it, 202 on the average, 221 in total distance, which is actually pretty good for me. And I've got anything, the low end is 188 with the high end being 233. And the low end being at the 201 with the high end being 253. Now why is that? Well, there's a difference here. Number one, that's a 94, 96 mile an hour versus almost a 103. That's pretty massive, right? And the other part is that the smash factor went up. So you're looking at the 120s, 127s does really good, and all of a sudden into the 133, 130 range. And smash factor is very, very important when it comes to the performance of the shot. You find the middle of that club face, swinging slow, swinging fast, you're still going to get really, really good results. That's proof positive right there. Now the other part, you know, when we talked about the driver, I said the driver was a little spinny. Other guys are getting really great results with it. Here, With this one, I am getting phenomenal spin rates with the hybrid. Right in that 2500 range, I mean, it's like hitting a driver, really. So is this one really a very nice driver? Yeah. You know, you really like what's going on here as far as the results. I'm catching it just barely on the upswing, and I'm hitting a pull fade, which is pretty much what I'm going to tell you I'm doing, right? I'm just it's just going more to the right than it is to the left for me. Now, one last thing I want, we keep talking about this RCH shaft, and I don't know if it's just my own perception of this, but sometimes when you see these things, they go, oh, that's a jokey shaft. Well, let me show you this. All right, so this is the acceleration profile. That's the speed profile. And if you look, this is just, it doesn't matter what kind of shot I'm hitting, I'm getting through it, and I'm getting through it at a pretty consistent area. So, and I was swinging, 95 on average up to 102, and that's pretty good for a 65 gram shaft to keep up. And like I said, normally these things are very, very flexible, and this guy is right on target as far as being right in the middle of the stiff range. And so what we're seeing is the reaction. So I am truly getting through it. So if I could just get my head out of my own way, I would probably hit this thing very, very, very well. All right, but again, so it's working for us. So let's see how they flew one more time. And there they go, and you can see they got a nice high flight. They're coming out of the air very, very well. It's just working like most hybrids do. Callaway's been doing a very good job with their hybrids, and along with the other golf equipment, but the bb21 is no different. So who are you going to recommend these to? All right, who are they for? Well, obviously, if you're having a time making the club go straight and you want it to go to your inside, this is certainly a club that can do that. Now, the other part of it is that getting fit is also important, right? If you're a really tall guy and this is too short, you're going to have problems. If you're a really short guy or gal and this is too long, then that's going to be a problem as well. So make sure that they fit. This one was very close to my spec, and as you saw, I hit it just total distance was about 10 yards further than what I normally hit my gamer, or my expectation of my gamer is. It flies just a skosh shorter than my gamer, but overall it actually hits very well. So again, if you're a beginner golfer and you actually tend towards the hybrids, this would be for you. If you're a person that is looking to keep the ball in the fairway and you're hitting a big banana, it's probably going to still be a big banana, but just not as big of a banana. And instead of being in the first cut, you might be in the left center or the right center, depending on which side you're standing on. And so it does what it says it's going to do. Does it say it's going to do it all the time? No. Could that be the expectation of any golf club? I'd say no again. All right. How many times you got everybody wants to hit the driver straight. Everybody wants to hit the putt into the hole in the first time. Everybody wants to do these really good things. They just don't seem to work out that way. However, what you can rely on here is that the ball is going to want to go to your inside. If you're a fader, if you're a hooker, it's going to go off the planet. And if you're a slicer, you can turn it into a bit of a fade. Now, let me preface this. If you're truly, really getting bit by the golf bug, go get a lesson, right? Go get a lesson, help straighten it out, and maybe the combination too, and you find another 10 yards of distance just by finding the middle of the club face. And away you go, right? So it does what it says what it does. It does what it says it's going to do. And it's a good-looking club at address. I don't see why you wouldn't want to use it in combination with the other clubs. I think they've done a very, very good job with it. If you want to know any more about it, put some questions in the show notes. We'll be able to, be more than happy to answer them. And let's see your scores go low.